With the dust barely settled after the drama of yesterday's Oiras import race here in Lisbon, the teams headed back out onto the Tagus River for the start of Leg 8 to Lorient in France. With 4 teams in with a chance of winning the overall race, the relatively short 1,950 nautical mile leg around the Azores and back to Lorient could be one of the most crucial legs of the Volvo Ocean race ever. Dockside, friends and family and thousands of excited race fans bade farewell to the teams as they got ready to get down to the serious business of ocean racing. The start track, similar to yesterday's import race, sees them completing a course up and down the Tagus River, after which they head out into the Atlantic. But as Ken Reid, skipper of Puma powered by Berg, points out, just because it's a relatively short ocean leg doesn't mean it's plain sailing to the islands.
I mean, it looks like this leg, it's going to be kind of a fast reach out there, and certainly Groupama is good in that. But then it looks like a little bit of hold on and hunker down on the way back. It could be quite a breezy trip into Lorient. So, that gets into boat breaking and you know, a little bit of nasty conditions. So, you know, it's up in the air. This honestly could be anybody's leg. It always is that way. I think it's unfair to say that one person has an advantage over the other right now.
At the downwind start, Puma hit the line on the gun and quickly started making gains, while Abu Dhabi struggled desperately with their Jenica and lost huge ground to the fleet. Camper and Puma led the fleet up the river, with Camper hugging the northern shore looking for relief from the current, but Puma further out were reaping the rewards of better pressure. Sanya in third led the pursuing group of Groupama and Telefonica, while Abu Dhabi, up to speed now but trailing the fleet by a large margin, had headed out further into the river, hoping to find a stronger breeze. Towards the 25th of April bridge, Telefonica managed to avoid the holes in the wind inshore that scuppered both Groupama and Sanya and sailed by into third. By the first mark, Puma had extended their lead over Camper significantly and rounded it to head back downriver a full minute ahead. But incredibly, Abu Dhabi had not only caught the fleet again, but their mid-river course allowed them to come from stone last to third by the first mark. Telefonica rounded in fourth 4 minutes after first-placed Puma, while Sanya made the turn in fifth, and Groupama, overall race leader and winner of yesterday's import race, started the upwind leg last, trailing the leader by a massive 7 minutes. Sailing back upwind now, the fleet began to feel the advantage of the strong river current and the speeds began to climb across the fleet. Catching a ride on Abu Dhabi for the start was Portuguese footballing legend Luís Figo, who bid Ian Walker and the crew farewell with a sharp spring overboard. By the time Puma had returned to their start point, the fleet was stretched the length of the Tagus River, with Camper still in second, Abu Dhabi third, Telefonica in fourth, while Sanya and Groupama brought up the rear of the fleet as they headed out of the river and into the open Atlantic. The fleet is expected to arrive in Lorient in a week's time, so stay tuned to VolvoOceanRace.com for all the action of this vital Leg 8.